This is Couples Couch, episode 3, where Black love kicks back, gets real, and definitely laughs out loud.
Yo, yo, yo. What's good? Welcome back to Couples Couch. Um, we are definitely glad to see you all back for episode 3. And we going to have some fun today. Hopefully, we can give some insight um, and just have honest conversations.
Okay. So we know that Black love can be petty at times. I'm Nicole,
And I'm Derek,
and
and
this
this
is
is
Couples
Couples
Couch. Make
Couch.
sure you like, share, and subscribe, and tell your cousins as well as your coworkers and that one ex that's always stalking your page and your stories to subscribe to our channel.
All right, babe. What are we going to get into tonight?
Today we're talking about behind the vows and my meltdown.
Meltdowns for real, babe.
Uh,
For real.
sir, I had so many meltdowns in planning this wedding. It's ridiculous. So yes, we're gonna talk about the meltdown.
All right.
So before we jump into the deep end, let's do a little warm up questions. Let's talk about our favorite memory from our wedding, babe.
Um, One of the, I guess, uh, a favorite memory for me, obviously, the huge support we had, but two really significant things that jump out to me is obviously seeing uh all three of my sisters there, and then seeing my aunt Niecy, which was a total surprise. I didn't think she
Hi,
was gonna
Aunt
be.
Niecy.
I didn't think she was gonna be up here. And then uh one of my childhood best friend, Roderick, he flew up from Houston and came to the wedding, and it was really dope for him to come and just show up. Him and I hadn't seen each other in person since 1985.
Wow.
So we're talking, at the time we got married last year, 39 years. So that was really, really cool, to see my childhood friend and just chop it up with him. So those were two significant things about the wedding.
So let's give a shout out to our Aunt Niecy and to
Roderick,
Roderick.
absolutely, absolutely.
All right. I had a lot of things going on the day of the wedding. One of my memories is going to actually lead to our main segment. And real talk, babe, I had a lot of meltdowns planning the wedding, during the wedding, and one of them came right before we said our I do's because for whatever reason, I was extremely nervous to
Yeah,
the point where I was shaking.
yeah.
And I'm a poet, I'm a writer, and I had written my vows in a poetry form. And normally I commit everything to memory, and I could not do it to memory because I was so nervous to the point where my day of planner, shout out to Natalie Taylor, um, I couldn't do it. And everybody was fanning me down. I was like sweating profusely, just so nervous to the point where I had to take a shot of some wine or a glass of wine.
So really, you was, I mean, really, I mean, I was nervous, but it, I was more or less like checking off boxes on our wedding day of things that I needed to do before I got to the venue. So, um, but trust and believe, I 100% understand why you were nervous. I 100% like,
Do you?
yes, I do.
Do you?
Really, you gonna hit me with the Kevin Hart? Really?
Really?
No, I
Really? No, I don't think you do.
no.
So I had decided that I'm a creative. I do everything from making bracelets to reworking camo jackets. I have a sewing machine. I got a Cricut. I do all the things. So I was like, I'm not paying anybody to do something that I can do myself, right?
Right.
Um, I did everything. I made the flower arrangements. I made the table decor. I did all the pictures. I made the invitations. Why are you doing that?
I'm just going over all the things you've done.
I did the guest list, like the photograph of the guest list, which is of our two pit bulls.
Yes.
I did literally everything to his boutonniere to
Yes.
my oversized bouquet, which was oversized. And now that I look back at the pictures, I'm like, ooh, this is a little bit too big. But I did everything. And so I just think that women have a lot more stressors when it comes to the wedding day because the men, you guys don't do a lot. You show up in a tux, you might pick the DJ. I even picked the DJ. Shout out to Mike Drop. I
Yeah.
even picked the DJ.
Yeah.
Now we did pick our songs together, but I just feel like when the wedding day comes, it's not equally shared as far as the stress because women are typically, even if you have a wedding planner, they're going to be typically the ones making all the decisions.
But
And I did that.
okay, right, and you did an amazing job.
Well, thank you.
It is like I said, we know you all could do a better job than us. So that's why we just kind of say, whatever you need me to do, babe, just let me know. If you ask for my opinion, I'll give it to you, but probably isn't gonna be one that you're like, you're not on the same wavelength as me. So we'll be like, all right.
But I would ask his opinion and he would kind of just be like, babe, it's whatever you want.
Yes,
And
because
so
it's
it
your
was like,
day.
even though I had a day of planner, I wanted to make sure that everything went off in my head as I envisioned it. You know what I mean? So for me, that was a stressor.
But hold on. I mean, yes, you did all that, but you wanted to do the planning, babe.
Because I didn't want to pay somebody to put
You
my vision
Yeah, I was gonna say
out.
you had this
I had
vision
this
in your head.
vision. So I had chosen this dark turquoise color and this auburn orange to be our wedding colors and like this mustard yellow.
What
And I
would you
needed
call it? What was the theme you were thinking of?
it was boho chic.
Yes.
And so I didn't
Boho
want
chic.
somebody to take what I had in my head and to put it down to make it what they envisioned. It had to be my vision. And it did turn out to be my vision. So I had two dresses. My dress, the wedding dress was just plain and simple. It wasn't anything like too extravagant because I had this hair that I thought was like, and this makeup. Oh my God. So shout out to Hair Kitchen, Brittany Gray, and shout out to my girl, Sakina, for doing my makeup. That was my glam squad. And I felt like my makeup and my hair was like the showpiece of it all. So my dress just didn't need to do anything else. It just needed to be like on my body, right? My makeup was fabulous. My hair was fabulous. Then I came out and I
Yes.
had this half cut. It was short in the front, longer in the back. It was tulle. It was heart shaped around my breast. And I wore cowboy boots and a blue jean jacket that on the back said Mrs. Wiggins. And it was so dope. And he was shocked to see me because he hadn't
Yeah.
seen anything.
No,
Um,
nothing.
so it ended up being my vision. It ended up being everything that I wanted. But I'm just saying, as a bride, I'm sorry, as a bride and as a woman who had planned all of this, to hand it over to somebody else the day of to make sure that it went your way. And I know my girl Natalie, she took care of everything. She did a great job.
Yes, she did.
I was just very, very nervous. And mind you, this is my second wedding. So I wanted it to
Yeah.
be perfection because,
Yeah.
the first wedding,
First wedding it
my
is
first
what it
wedding was
is.
nice.
Yeah,
It
it
was
is what it
nice,
is.
but I needed this to be like top tier.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is that I'm telling my version of the story, which is correct, by the way. Um, yes, I wanted to do it because who was gonna see my vision but me
Right. Right.
and God?
So yeah.
So yeah,
All right. Like I
we just
said,
gonna have to agree to disagree.
yes,
That's all,
absolutely. So
which we do often. So
yeah. Yeah. All right, moving right along. Moving right
all right,
along.
so earlier this week we asked a lot of people to come in our DMs, inbox us, email us with questions, right? So we're going to call you guys our couch cousins
Yes.
because you've emailed us a lot of questions. We had about 30 questions to go through.
Yes.
And we just chose 2 questions for today because we're going to kind of use them and we're going to keep asking you guys questions
Yep.
that you want to see on our segment. So keep DMing us, inboxing us, and email us at weareblackline@gmail.com to have
Yes.
your questions featured.
Yep.
So the first question, Couch Cousins, you guys sent me some things, and let's just say some of y'all need Jesus and therapy and maybe some holy water.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what's the
But at
first
least they were
question?
honest.
They were
At least
very
they were
honest. Y'all were
honest.
very honest in your
Yeah. We
questions
appreciate the
and wanted
honesty.
that. And everybody will remain anonymous. So we will not say any names. But babe,
All
what's the
right.
first question?
So the first question um, what's one lesson that you learned from your first marriage that you're committed to not repeating in your second marriage?
Whew,
So go ahead, babe. You go first,
that
and then I'll answer.
that hit me. There was a lot of things that I did wrong in my first marriage. I'm not gonna deny it. But I think one of the things that I've learned not to do, and I did not know that I was doing this because I come from a family that we just speak our minds. My mother spoke her mind, my aunt speaks their minds, my dad, my brother, we all just speak our minds. So I didn't know that I was doing this. You all would consider some of the things that I did called emasculation, and I didn't know that I was emasculating my first husband. Um, and I didn't learn that actually until we were in therapy. And he would say, like, you did this and it made me feel this type of way. And I'm like, I didn't know that I was doing that. And I sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, still apologize for those things. Um, but I didn't know that I was doing it. There's certain ways that women talk to men, and we think that we're just sticking up for ourselves, or we think that we're just saying how we feel. But now I know um men like to be talked to a certain way, and it's not an ego thing per se. It's just you can't talk to a man the same way you talk to, like, when you're talking to your girlfriends, like, bitch, you can't nigga this, nigga that, stand up, be a man, and all that. You can't do that with your husband. It's disrespectful in a lot of ways. And I think some of the things that we were going through at the time maybe made me feel like he was deserving of these things, even though I did not know that I was emasculating him. There were certain things that I would say that I knew probably did trigger him a little bit. And I would say those things, and we would be arguing, and he would say his things, and I would say my thing. And then when we divorced and it was time for us to co-parent, I decided I don't want to argue with you. So what do I need to do so that we're not arguing back and forth? And that's when he told me, like, you talk to me like this, and that's unacceptable. And I was like, wow, I didn't even know that I was doing that. So one of the things that I have not done in this marriage is, number one, I don't speak out of anger anymore. And he'll tell you, I will tell him, like, I don't want to talk about it right now because I have to process stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I learned in therapy, for me, and this may not be for everybody, but for me, I learned that I have to write things down. I have to process my feelings. I have to write them down. I have to get out extremely how I feel on paper. And then I have to read it before I say it to him to make sure that it does not come off as emasculating or disrespectful. Because the one thing that I don't want to do is disrespect my partner in that way verbally. That's what I learned from my last marriage. And I appreciate if he tells me, and he'll tell me, like, well, babe, I felt like, you know, what you said and how you came at me was kind of foul. And he'll tell me that. I did not get that in my first marriage. I didn't get that when I would say things that he didn't feel comfortable with. It wasn't never, hey, you said this and it made me feel this type of way because we just didn't have that type of communication. And that's no fault of his own or mine. It was just those are growing pains. Essentially, that's what they are. They're growing pains. And so I just didn't know that I was doing those things. So I take that from my first marriage. My communication style is just a lot different now. When I get angry, I'll tell him like I don't want to talk about it right now because I gotta process through it. So
So let me ask you this, babe. So do you think that, like, during y'all's marriage, do you think that if he would have expressed to you how it made him feel, do you think you would have received it the appropriate way?
no,
Okay.
I wasn't in the headspace to receive what he would say to me,
Right.
because of other things we had going on in our marriage.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wasn't in the headspace at that time. I probably felt like I could do no wrong. I probably felt like he was deserving of everything that I was saying to him because of things that were happening in our marriage,
Yeah.
not knowing that some of the things that were happening in our marriage were because of me. Um, so no, I probably wouldn't have received it. It would have been another argument.
Right.
And so that's the one thing that I can say. And people, and we'll have my ex husband on, because we are friends now. So he'll be on a segment or something at some point. And
Absolutely,
and
because yeah, you like you all have you all have abundance of conversation pieces to give to the people about
mhm,
how you all navigate now, versus how it was before,
yeah,
and it's
absolutely.
definitely gonna be helpful to a lot of folks.
And that took time, and that took therapy, and that took us realizing what we did wrong, apologizing to one another, and being sincere about it. And just still being each other's cheerleaders, but not necessarily because we're married, but because we have kids. And we want our kids to see what co parenting looks like in a positive light, and knowing that it's okay for mommy to move on and daddy to move on and for us both to be happy, because the one thing that we both agreed was that we wanted our kids to see love. So I appreciate those conversations. And in the very beginning of our relationship, I would call my ex-husband like, was I like this with you? Because I feel like I'm starting to be like this with him, because I was in therapy and I was like, am I doing this again? And he would be like, well, yeah, that's how you was with me. And I was like, oh, I can't do that with Derek, because I knew that I didn't want to lose this man. And so I was very careful on
She
how
don't want to lose me, y'all.
I didn't want to lose him, my little mud ball. I didn't want to lose him. And so I knew that I had to maneuver in a different way. I couldn't be the same Nicole that I was in that relationship or that marriage, or even the relationship that I was in after that. Because in that relationship, I still did some things that I was doing during my marriage because I hadn't learned yet, and I was still in therapy. So shout out to Dr. Thomas for getting me together. So what's yours, babe?
So for me, I would say that in my first marriage, I was not intentional towards my wife, my former wife. I was not intentional enough. Um and it put a strain on the marriage, absolutely, amongst other things, but that part definitely put a strain on it because, um you know as a spouse, you want you want your spouse to be intentional with you,
Absolutely.
however that looks, but you want them to be intentional.
Mhm.
um and that's one thing that I am sorry for not doing in, my previous marriage. Um and unfortunately I can't, have that conversation with my former wife because she passed away. But that is the one thing that sticks out to me, that I make sure that I do with Nicole every day is be intentional in whatever it is. And um and it doesn't have to be like this big extravagant thing.
Mm-mm.
Just be intentional, which is like simple small things
Text messages,
that can, that
flowers.
goes a long way. Like for example, this was what, Tuesday. I was listening to the song by Common and Mary J. Blige. What's his name?
Come close to me.
Yeah, Come Close to Me.
Yeah.
And I was listening to it, and I was like, I was like, let me rewind it back, and I'm listening to the lyrics that Common's, spitting, and I'm like, wow, this is the way he's talking about this female. This is how I feel about her. So I immediately text the song to Nicole when she, at work, and I said, "Hey, babe, I heard this song. I heard this song on social media or something, and I looked it up, and and it made me think of you. So, and I sent it to her, and I said, I love you. Um,
He said, "Babe, I love you."
yes, babe, I love you. And but I will say this: I had to learn how to be intentional, and you taught me how to, you know, be intentional, uh not just with you but with my kids, with my friends, just being intentional. You taught me even more how to be intentional. So now I put, like, that's in my phone as one of the things that I make sure that I do every day, is it's be intentional with Nicole, however that looks. And I don't stress out about trying to do this extravagantly huge intentional act. I just, whenever I'm thinking about Nicole, I'm like, oh, okay, let me do this or let me do that. But I don't have extra stress on myself trying to make sure that I got to make sure I do this before we go to bed, because if not, I won't. No, because if I don't do a bunch of things, it's not a big deal, you know. But me being intentional is just thinking about her.
And telling me he thinks about me.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what makes it special, because you don't have to come in every day with flowers and chocolates and diamonds and all those things. Something as simple as a text message just letting me know, like, hey, I'm thinking about you, or the sex was good last night. Let's just be honest, guys. The sex was good last night.
yeah.
Or um in the morning, like he said this on the last podcast, when he puts out my lotion and a perfume that he wants me to wear, and he smells it, and it's like, this is what he wants me to smell like today. That's intentional to me. And
Simple
it's
things.
simple.
Yeah,
I already
simple
got the
things.
perfume. He don't even have to buy it. It's just right there in the
Yeah.
in my dressing room. So those are the things like that he's very, very intentional about. Not to say that he doesn't buy flowers, because once a week he does. He always brings flowers. I was never big on flowers, but he always brings me flowers. And
Shout
I'm
out to them good priced roses
Kroger.
from Kroger.
We don't want to give Kroger no shout outs, but
But yeah,
we gonna give him a shout out
yeah,
today.
yeah. Um,
But
but
yeah, him being intentional
yeah,
is simple
that's
stuff. It's
yeah,
just
that's
small things
yeah.
to let your spouse or your significant other know that you're thinking about them.
All right. So next question.
So this was a question, babe, that popped up so many times.
Mm-hmm.
And we got asked this question a lot. And it's like, what does 50-50 look like in your relationship? Because no marriage is exactly 50-50.
Absolutely not.
And so I'm going to let Derek answer that and start it off. But no marriages is exactly 50-50. And if you go into a marriage thinking, I'm going to give 50 and he going to give 50, child, you might as well hang it up.
Yeah. My thoughts on this question is, um, if you try your best, if you and your significant other try to be 50-50, my opinion, you're going to drive yourself crazy, and the
Absolutely.
relationship is the relationship will definitely not be organic,
No.
because all y'all doing is making sure you check off boxes, making sure that you do this, making sure that you do that. Well, I got to make sure I
He
do.
did his 25. I'm
Yeah,
going to do my 25.
that's
He going to do his 25. And I'm
that's
going to do my
not
25.
organic
That's,
at all. That's no,
that's
that's
work.
yeah. And your relationship, yes, requires some form of work,
It
but
requires a lot of work, but we're not talking
not,
about manual labor.
yeah, nah, not like that. So I just feel like, um a marriage is the percentages vary every day. No, no, no. They vary every day, and then they vary at certain parts of the day. Like when you wake up in the morning, you could wake up and be like, "Ugh, this is not. I'm just not feeling it right now,
That's me.
and I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna need that." Like there's been times where she like times where she was like, "Hey, babe, can you do me a favor and start my car up? I'm just not. I just don't feel like doing that." So,
Do I ask you to? I've never asked
oh
you
no
to.
no no
No,
no
he just
no,
does
I
it.
just
He
do it.
just does
Just
it.
shout out to Henry Wiggins Jr. because that
I've
was
never
just
asked
something.
him to fill my car or turn my car on.
Yeah,
But there are times that I've asked him to, babe, can you iron this for me? Because I don't
yeah.
like to iron my clothes, and I will leave the house wrinkled. I'm just
Or
saying.
I can just tell when I come home, or if I wake up in the morning, I can tell. Okay, yeah, she's not feeling too good, so I will start thinking about. Okay, I'll probably try to cook dinner tonight because I know she's not feeling good. Or when I come home from work and I see her, I can tell she's. So I think, to me, a healthy marriage, you just got to know how much you got to give. And that's really based on your partner and you knowing your partner.
Mhm.
Like you're like, okay, I know I got to give 68% today because I know I can tell she only got 32. And you got to you have to be secure in your own ego and understand that, and you can't take it personal if you're giving more percentage into the marriage that day than
Absolutely.
your partner is. You can't get pissed and everything. Now, if it's you doing 70% every day for 30, 40, 60 days,
That's different.
that's different.
Then we gotta have a
Yeah, and you
conversation.
gotta talk to me like, all right, listen, babe,
Absolutely.
listen, I'm over here doing all this, and I don't mean to keeping a tally, but I am. So I just think it.
Not keeping a tally, but everybody has to contribute their part. So one of the things that I always say about me and Derek, I have girlfriends that they do all the cooking, they do all the cleaning, they do all this, da 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 da, and then the husband kind of sits back. He takes care of the car, he takes care of this, he does that, da 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 da. Derek and I, our relationship is a little bit non-traditional in the fact that I grew up the only girl in the family. I'm the baby girl. Shout out to my brother Jamal. I did not take trash out. I never touched the trash. So growing up as a female, even like living with roommates, I was like, that's not a job that I want to do because I can say I'm a bit spoiled, honestly. Am I a bit spoiled? I'm a bit spoiled, but my dad never let me touch the trash.
Shout
So
out to OG Gary Watson is the reason why this lovely lady over here
it's
is
so spoiled.
a little spoiled.
And my brother too. My brother does a lot for me, but
Yes, shout out to
I don't
Jamal.
take out trash. I'm not touching the trash.
But and
But I'm gonna cook him every meal. He
oh
gets
yeah,
served his
oh
meals.
yeah,
I make his plates.
oh yeah,
I do
yeah.
all those things. I primarily clean the house, but typically,
But that's when you kick in your higher percentage.
yes, but typically women also wash the clothes and they fold the clothes. I hate that chore. I absolutely despise. I want y'all to hear me. Despise folding clothes. And when we first met, he would come over and he's like, "Babe, your clothes are still in the laundry basket." I'm like, "They gonna stay there until I'm ready to wear them."
Ooh
And so I
wee,
would pull the clothes out, and like I
ooh
said, I don't
wee.
mind. I'm a teacher, y'all, so I will go to work wrinkled. It doesn't
Y'all,
bother me at all.
if y'all would have saw the laundry
No!
room,
My
oh
laundry
man,
room was ridiculous when we
oh
first met.
man,
He came down to wash clothes one day and he was like,
oh man.
what's going on? But I don't like to wash clothes because I grew up having to wash clothes. And my dad, he was in the Navy. And so it was always like, wash the clothes and separate them and do this. And then we folded them and we had a ping pong table growing up. So all of our clothes sat on this ping pong table after I was done folding them up. That took hours. So that's one of the chores that I absolutely despise doing is I can wash the clothes, but somebody else has to fold them. I can't fold them.
and
Drives me crazy. But he doesn't mind doing that.
yeah.
And so he washes all of our clothes. He folds all of our clothes. So in return, I wash the dishes because that's not something that I mind doing, even though we do have a dishwasher. Shout out to our
And
dishwasher.
I
He
hate
hates washing dishes.
washing dishes.
And I typically won't use the dishwasher because I don't feel like washing the dishes takes that long of a time. And there's been times that I'm like, babe, it's going to take us literally 15 minutes. Let's just go wash the dishes. And he's like, oh my God.
Yes.
Then I'm like, oh, you know what? Forget it. I'll wash them. I normally wash the dishes on the days because we have days. We have a family of 5.
Yes.
Everybody has a day or 2 days that they have to wash the dishes. I normally wash his dishes because he washes the clothes. So I feel like 50-50, it's going to vary in every relationship, every marriage. You have to determine what your 50-50 looks like. It's not going to always be even. Some days it's 70%. Some days it's 30%. Some days it might be more equal, 60-40. But it's never going to be equal because your partner has some days where they can't give you.
We're human.
Yeah, they can't give you that full percent, especially when you're dealing with somebody who's sick, who has an autoimmune disease, such as I do. When you're dealing with somebody who's sick, they're not going to be their best every single day. And so those days they may not be able to give you all that you want to give. And that's when your partner has to step in and give a little bit more. But then there's days that he doesn't feel good. And I have to step up and say, well, he doesn't feel good, so I have to give more. But even on those days when you both are at 100%, you have to understand that his workday may have been more stressful than yours. And we're both teachers. So we come home stressed all the time. But I have to understand that he deals with way more kids than I deal with because he's a gym teacher. I'm a 3rd grade teacher.
I see everybody.
He sees everybody. So there's some days and there's days that I'm like, let me make sure that he comes home and he has a cooked meal. And then like in the summer, he works the whole summer. I only work part of the summer because I only do summer school. And so I want to make sure that when he comes home, he has a cooked meal and that whatever beverage that he wants to drink on is there. You just have to know your partner. Marriage is definitely never going to be 50-50.
Yeah.
And I feel like you set yourself up thinking, oh, I got this person here now. It's going to be 50-50. No, your partner's they're not supposed to complete you. They're supposed to complement you.
Yep.
And I feel like in my first marriage, when we taken it back to that original question, I felt like, oh, he's going to complete what I don't have. He probably thought the same thing. She's going to complete what I don't have. No, he's supposed to, or she's supposed to compliment you.
Yep.
And that way you guys are working together.
Yep.
And not competing against each other. So
Absolutely.
You agree?
Yeah, 100%.
All right.
100%. Okay, moving on to our next segment.
No, we got another question.
No.
We did. We
only did 2.
We did 2 questions this week. I'm sorry, guys. We did 2 questions this week.
All right. So our next segment is called Off the Cuff.
Hey. This is where we rapid fire questions. We're just going to point at each other at who does what.
Yeah.
So.
Let me go first. I'll go first. All right. Who apologizes first?
Who spends the most money?
Who's more dramatic?
Who thinks they're a night owl but actually isn't?
Who would win a dance battle?
He thinks it's him, but it's definitely me. It's me.
My friends who know me from high school know that I could get down when I need to. I just ain't never showed her that I could get down.
I'm not saying you can't get down, babe, but I'm just saying dance team, cheerleading, and my friends from high school would say otherwise.
Okay. All right.
I had to teach you the Tamia line dance.
Okay. All right. You up. Go ahead.
Who's the better driver? I hate driving, guys. I hate it.
Who's the better cook? 100% better cook.
Who's the
Hold on. Hey, y'all. Before I met Nicole, I tried salmon probably twice, and it was, I was like, this is too fishy. And I told her that. She was like, "You just ain't had it made right."
I told him, no, I didn't say you didn't have it made right. I said you haven't tried my salmon,
Yes,
is
yes.
what I said.
Man, she made this is one of my favorite meals to this day.
We have to
Is
have it at least once a week.
is some air fried salmon and some of her herbs and spices, some long grain wild rice, and some broccoli. Man, I'd tear that up any day of the week. So
Teriyaki salmon,
yes,
barbecue salmon,
yes,
salmon bites.
absolutely, all that. I'd tear
Yes.
some salmon up
He
now.
now has to have salmon at least once a week.
Yes. All right. You up?
Who's the morning person? I
Shout out to Henry
hate
Wiggins Jr.
I hate getting out of the bed, y'all. The bed is my favorite place to be.
Yeah. Um, who gives better directions?
This is a GPS over here. I couldn't get out of a brown paper bag. I need my GPS.
All right.
And who is Petty LaBelle? Who's the pettiest?
Yes.
If you go low, I'm taking you to hell. Trust and believe. I can be very petty.
You're not gonna follow Michelle Obama's
I'm not
motto?
gonna follow Michelle Obama. I'm a Scorpio, baby. If you go low, I'm going to hell. Trust and believe that. Trust and believe that.
Oh man.
You ready to take a shot?
All right. So today's positive shot.
You have to make it a priority to affirm your partner. And here's what I mean. You wake up in the morning and sometimes you affirm yourself. You get in the morning like Mary J. Blige, good morning, gorgeous. And you say all these things to affirm yourself. As a teacher, I affirm my students every single day. We have a chant. We say, I'm going to be the best me that I can be.
Yep.
I'm going to follow all directions. I'm going to be where I'm supposed to be because I'm going to be the best me that I'm supposed to be. You affirm your children.
Yep.
And a lot of times you affirm your friends, but what doesn't happen? You don't affirm your partner. Affirming your partner boosts the connection. It boosts their self-esteem and it strengthens your connection with your partner.
Yes.
So
Yes.
those are just a few things that it does.
Yes.
You have to affirm your partner. And one of the things that I did when Derek and I first met, and I felt his spirit. I'm very good at energy and feeling people's energy. And I felt one day that he was down and I affirmed him. Derek, do you remember the first time I affirmed you?
Absolutely. First off, before me and Nicole got together, I had never heard of affirming. I heard of the word, but I never really like tried to figure out what the definition of it was. And I definitely never got affirmed by my partner or by my former wife. That was just so when she did that, I was just my mind was just blown away because I was like, man, this is really dope. Like it's kind of like you got your it's like I'm a coach, so one of our things we got to do as a coach, we got to motivate our players to go and do what we need them to do. So when she affirmed me, I felt like, man, she's like my life coach. Like,
I was his cheerleader.
Yeah, like your personal cheerleader.
I'm his first cheerleader.
Yeah, giving just telling you things that you just needed to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So that you can just say, you know what, you're right. Yes, I need to do this. Yes, I am good at this. Yes, I do need to make sure that So the first time you affirmed me, man, I was floating. I was just like, man, I feel, I feel like No Limit Soldier. Like, I'm ready for anything. I'm ready for whatever. Let's go. My baby said, I can do this. I'm this. I'm a strong black man, man. Let's go. So that when you affirmed me that first time, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I got it made me feel motivated. Like, man, I get to do this too. So I gotta sit and think about how to do it because I never knew how to affirm somebody. So I had to ask you, like, how do you what does that look like? How do you do it? And then she kind of explained to me just the things that you do. And then I just went back and looked at what she said to me. And I'm like, okay, well, let me think about this. I can just think about these different things she said to me. Let me say,
Reverse it.
yeah, reverse it and say it towards her. But yeah, that was that's one of my favorite things about our relationship, and is affirming each other, because it's just, and I think with us, when we affirm each other, it comes right on time.
Hmm.
Like, it comes right on time. Um, and
It's
it's
not something we do every day. We
right,
don't do it
right,
every day.
right. But it just comes right on time. I think the last time you affirmed me, it was right on time, and I think the last time I affirmed you, it was just right on time. And you need them little positive motivation boosts to to get you going. Say, all right, let me get my stuff together. This
Absolutely.
Appreciate that, babe. Appreciate that. Like, I'm ready to go now.
And
So
it could be something so small as the last time I affirmed him. Again, we're both teachers, and he was going for to be part of this cohort for principals. And I'm sorry if y'all hear our dogs. And we're dog sitting. We have two pit bulls and we're dog sitting. So
yeah,
yeah, we have three dogs over here now. They're in the backyard, but I'm sorry if you guys can hear them. But he was going to do the cohort, and he had submitted the information that he needed. He was kind of nervous about it, and I affirmed him. And that same day, he got the email back that he had gotten it, and it was just simple as and we always start with let me affirm you, and then we
yes,
go through the list of things that we want to affirm you on. And one of the things was, I just said, you're strong, you're black, you're powerful, you're a great man, you're a great teacher, you're a great father, you're a great husband, you're a great friend. And you just list all of the things that you feel that your partner is, and it's just kind of just reiterating things that they already know, but
mm-hmm,
they just need somebody else to say it to them.
mm-hmm,
So it's nothing major, it's nothing big, and we always do it through text message. And it just comes at a time in the day where they're not expecting it. He's
mm-hmm.
never expecting me to affirm him at 12:45 in the middle of his gym class. You know what I mean? So
And that be the best part of it, is that it comes
yeah,
unexpectedly.
yeah. And I will say this: those of affirmations, when they come, sometimes they come at a time when temptation might be hitting you. And I remember one day I was at church. I went to the Church of the Living God. Shout out to Pastor Tate and Sister Tate. And the sermon, I don't even remember what the sermon was on, but this stuck with me. And it was just about, making sure that you tell your partner how you feel about them, so that people in the world or of the world don't fill their head and make them feel like they're 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 less wanted than they are at home. And so that's another thing that I didn't do in my first marriage. I didn't know how to affirm my partner. But we were also very young. Now I'm, how would y'all think I am? I'm gonna let y'all guess. But now I'm of age, I'll say that.
You're
And
of wisdom
I'm
age.
of wisdom age. As my kids tell me, I told my kids how old I was one day, and they asked me, did I know Harriet Tubman? And I said no.
Oh, the kids think I'm man, they think I'm ancient.
They always think that I know slaves and stuff,
Yeah.
and that I was on the Underground Railroad, but no, I'm not. Um, but anyway, um, it's good to affirm your partner, because you want to
Yes.
make sure that when they leave the house,
Yes.
that they know how you feel about them,
Hmm.
and that nobody can come in and shake that bond up.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
regularly tell each other we love each other. We
Hmm.
always affirm each other, and it's not daily. It may not even be weekly.
Yeah.
It just comes at a time when I know that he needs it, or he knows when I need it. So we make sure that we
Right
tell
on
each other
time.
that we affirm each other.
Yep. Right on time.
If you did not catch that message about affirmation, affirming, I said affirmation, affirming your partner at the very beginning, I want you to rewind that,
Yeah.
and I want you to listen to it again,
Yep.
because affirming your partner is so important.
Powerful.
It's powerful.
Very powerful.
It's very, very powerful. Um,
That's our positive shot.
So we're gonna take a shot.
Oh, okay.
Not technically take a shot,
Yeah.
but take a shot.
Positive shot for the day.
All right. So that kind of wraps up our episode of today's Couples Couch.
Yep.
We are actually doing today's Couples Couch on a Friday.
Yes.
We would normally do it on a Saturday, and we would normally go live so we can have some interaction. But Mama's Gun, Erykah Badu's 25th tour is coming around for Mama's Gun. It's the 25th anniversary of Mama's Gun. And anybody that knows me knows that I absolutely love Erykah Badu. I've met her 3 times.
Yes.
4 times. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Met her 4 times. He was there one of the times that I met her.
The last time,
The last time that I met her.
we
were in Vegas. But she's coming to Cincinnati tomorrow, and it's going to be during the time that we would normally do Couples Couch Live. So we wanted to make sure that we got this episode out to you all. Prior to that, it will be uploaded tomorrow before we go to the concert.
Yep.
Feel free to share it, like it, and again, subscribe.
Also, make sure you follow us on, like I said, follow us on all the socials. Follow, shout out to our sponsors. I forgot. Black Line, our t-shirt apparel line that we started. Shout out to Soul Signature Designs for all your jewelry by my babe.
And your reworked camo jackets. I do a lot of things on Soul Signature.
Absolutely.
It's not just jewelry, but Soul Signature Designs on IG. Follow me.
Yes, we're on all the socials.
And Black Line is We Are Black Line on IG and Black Line on Facebook.
Yes. So just, again, please support us. And so far we're getting support, and we just want to just continue to get support, and we just want to just pour into you all with what we know. Again, we are not experts at all.
We're just navigating this thing.
Yeah, we're just giving you our perspective. And I think a lot of regular folks like us just want to hear from other regular folks about life.
Yes.
And when life is lifing. And they just, and sometimes you just need to hear it from somebody else. So you're like, you know what? Okay, I ain't tripping.
It's not just me.
Yeah, it ain't just
me. Just me.
It ain't just me. So we just want to say thank you for tuning in. And
subscribe.
Yep, like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends and family about us.
And don't forget to tell that one ex that keeps following you on social media. I know my ladies know that. He might inbox you every now and then. Tell him he needs some therapy. Tell him to come follow the Couples Couch. We'll get him together.
All right.
Get him to stop following you in.
Yeah, so
that wraps today's episode of Couples Couch.
Yep.
Remember to follow us on all social medias and tune in next Saturday at 10 p.m. We will be going live.
We might go a little bit earlier than that, though.
Why?
We might go a little bit earlier than 10. You think you want to do it at 10?
We might go a little bit earlier just because it's the weekend. And you know what?
Yeah.
We may still be in Cleveland for Thanksgiving break. So we may go earlier, and we may have some special guests joining us.
Yeah,
so make sure you tune in.
We might shoot our episode in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, my. And have some special guests
get some special guests. Maybe we can get Jamal, Cynthia, or Mika, or AJ, or
maybe.
Who knows?
Just stay tuned. Next week might be a special episode. I keep hitting this thing with my nails. But keep sending your questions. Email us at weareblackline@gmail.com or DM or inbox us on one of our social media platforms. Absolutely. But we just want to say much love and see you all next week on the Couples Couch, where Black love kicks back, gets real, and definitely laughs out loud.
Peace out.
That's the going out music. That's the going out music. That's the going out music. That's the